Toastmasters. And my third short-term goal is to upload one video per month on social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Moving on, and I think our screen is back, hopefully. Moving on to Roli Sinha. Roli, I was not able to update it, but if you could go about your
Right. So my objective is to upgrade my planning skills by following the innovative planning path and finish that path by November 2020. My progress so far is 34%.
Great job, Roli. And then coming to my short-term goal. Now, my short-term goal is a little peculiar one because I've decided to learn to start bringing a smile to my speeches. So my short-term goal is to smile naturally by September 26, 2020. Why September 26, 2020? Because that day I'll be 48 years old and I want to tell myself that I accomplished something in my 48 years of existence. To do this, I am practicing smiling for 30 minutes every day. I've been doing it for the past 1 week. And then I'll try to incorporate smiles into my speaking opportunities. Moving on to the next professional speaker, Sandeep.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep Kumar. I have two short-term goals. One is to upgrade my coaching skills by using the effective coaching path by end of this year. Second, to have a good command on English language by upgrading my grammar and pronunciation by end of this year. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Sandeep. Moving on to Shivpriya. Shivpriya, tell us about your short-term goals.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shivpriya Gauri. My short-term goal is to improve my writing skills, and I plan to write 9 articles by December 31st, 2020. I have finished 3 articles, which was also, I also sought feedback from Distinguished Toastmaster Rupender Singh for the same, and I intend to take help from Distinguished Toastmaster Rupender Singh and Distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi for the same. And currently, my progress is at 33%. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shivpriya. That completes our short-term goals. And if you look at, so the SMART goals are a part of professional speakers where we try to improve over increments of time. Should you have any questions, you can contact our Vice President Membership, Anush Seth. For business inquiry, please get in touch with Raj Mehta, DTM. With that, we complete our short-term business segment. I would also urge our guests to subscribe to our YouTube channel and so that you stay updated with the latest happening. There are quite a few videos out there. So thank you, everyone. I will stop the screen sharing. Now, let's have a round of applause for everyone. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day is working with Daikin air conditioners. He just now listed his short-term goal as improving his coaching skills. I believe that one of the best things about being a Toastmaster of the day and about being Sergeant at Arms is to be able to master the art and science of introduction. Whether it is calling a speaker on stage, whether it is asking someone to give a presentation, to introduce them in such a way that they feel encouraged, empowered, and engaged enough so that they come back the next time feeling even more motivated. Something similar is going to be attempted by our Toastmaster of the day today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud privilege to ask you to put your hands together for Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar.
You, Presiding Officer. Well, I think you had listened the Rupinder Singh words very carefully, introductions, while introducing me. If he could not have been introduced me, could you able to establish a connection between you and me? So it means introductions have a particular importance while it comes to the novel as a novel, while on the stage by introducing the speaker, or maybe having the introduction of professional speakers as well. Why introductions are important? Even statistics says even the proficient speakers, when it comes to stage, while introducing the speakers, they feel hesitating while introduction to the speakers. And let me ask you, how many of you felt when you had a role of MC or host and you felt hesitation while introducing the speakers? Right? So I have gained some insights from Toastmaster International website, from my own experience, from the examples of any Toastmasters, even officer training, maybe annual conference or semiannual conference. Now, first is, what is the purpose of introduction? The first one is, it is not the speaker who creates the first impression. It is an introduction which you are giving. Second one, introduction establishes the connection between the speaker and audience before the speaker comes to the stage. Third, and not the last one, it prepares the audience to listen carefully or be attentive what the speaker is going to say. I will connect more over it. Let me introduce the structure of the meeting. Any professional speakers meeting comprises of 6 segments. We had just finished with one segment, that is business segment. Apart from this, we have 5 segments left. The second one is professional speech, which is delivered by a member on subject expertise on insights of particular subject or topic. The third segment is for the prepared speeches. We have 2 prepared speakers. First one is Distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi, and second speech by the Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. We have 4 sections as table topic speaker, which would be conducted by Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Coming to the next to the 5th segment, which is the backbone of any professional speakers meeting, a power talk. Today, we have Distinguished Toastmaster Mukta Nadkar, who will share his insights on how smile matters. And the last but not the least, the evaluation section, which is a very important section for any Toastmasters meeting. Now, please join me in welcoming the role players. Today, we have Shipriya Gori, who recently become a Distinguished Toastmaster, who will be acting as a GE role today. Then we have Toastmaster Rolly Sinha, who will be playing a timer role today. We have Toastmaster Anu Seth, who will be playing a counter role today. Last, we have Anshupriya Prasad, who will be playing as a grammarian today. I request grammarian to introduce word of the day.
Thank you, Sandeep. Word of the day for today's meeting is rambunctious. And it means full of energy and difficult to control. It's an adjective. You can use it like rambunctious puppy, rambunctious children. And I would request everyone to use this word as use this word in the meeting. And over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Anshupriya. Now let us begin with our professional speech, which will be delivered by Mukesh Thakur. He comes from a community who is lazy in speaking, chartered accountants. He is a practicing chartered accountant and believes that no one should be lazy in communication, and thus he is here as a passionate Toastmaster. He is also an author of the book Guide to Financial Instruments, published by Taxman. A Toastmaster for 5 years, he is on the way to become a good writer, reader, and speaker. He keeps challenging himself by coming to the stage. And today, also, he has taken a new challenge to deliver a professional speech on My Smart and Wise Goal. Please help me in joining distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. My Smart and Wise Goal, My Smart and Wise Goal, Mukesh Thakur.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Sandeep. Can you please confirm, am I audible? And can you see my screen?
You're audible and you're visible, Mukesh. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening, professional speakers and guests. Why goals? Why to set goals? I feel that every human being has a purpose in their life. If you look around, you will observe many things. There are at least 200,000, 250,000 people that takes birth every day, and 150,000 people die every day. So every week there are millions of people who are taking birth and then dying. Do you observe that how many of them have actually achieved their purpose? If you observe carefully, most of the decisions of the life are not being taken by individuals. It is being guided by the society, the world. For example, just assume that we spend our initial 25 years of our life in education so that we can earn to live. And then we spend again 30 to 35 years of our lives in earning to live. And then we spend the rest of the life memorizing that we had earned to live. Only one thing is missing here. We forgot to live. This happens because all of the life we are not here to live. The living has been turned as surviving. We take birth, survive, and die. As per Stephen Covey, in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, there are 4 quadrants of spending time. First, which is urgent as well as important. Second, which is urgent but not important. Third, which is not urgent but important. And fourth, which is not important as well as not urgent. If you observe your day-to-day life, you will find yourself engaged in urgent but not urgent, not important matters. Because we are always doing the firing things. We have to write this email, we have to respond to my manager, we have to do this for my today's goal. I have been receiving this call, so I have to answer this call. Every time we are getting engaged in urgent but not important. And sometimes we keep engaged in not even urgent and not important. For example, watching Netflix, binge watching in, during the entire lockdown. If we are not structured, we will spend most of our lives in not urgent but not important. But if we are structured, then we must spend our lives in important but not urgent matters. The important thing is our purpose of life, our vision statement of life. Similarly, as professional speakers, we are here for some purpose. We are here not just to attend a Toastmasters meeting, not just to to create a path or become a distinguished Toastmasters. We are here to attend our purpose, our objectives as professional speakers. Most of the things at professional speakers we are doing right, but sometimes it happens that you are a guest and you attended our meetings, got impressed, and you thought that by becoming a member at professional speaker, you are going to improve your communication skills and you will get better. You create a nice statement of purpose, you will put in the video and forward it to the wiki membership. Based on your repo as well as your nice content, you get into professional speakers. Then your DT education reaches you and asks for your short-term goals. You try to avoid it for some times, and then after some follow-ups, you decide short-term goals and give it to DT education. After a few months, you think that this is not working. I think we should change the short-term goals. And it keeps happening for the time to time. If you look back, the professional speakers has been chartered for now 2 years. It is the time to reach your medium-term goals. How many medium-term goals we have met? Hence, we need to discuss what is wrong, whether all the short-term goals that we are creating, a compilation of short-term goals, are going to take us to the right point, or it is just making you better somehow, or at the point where you have not destined or have not dreamed when you joined professional speakers. Let's discuss how to set it right. First, there are two things in the short-term goals: how to make it and what should be our goals. Making a short-term goals takes a lot of time than making your individual long-term goals or the purpose. Because short-term goals is the residual amount after doing all the brainstormings. So first of all, you have to create the purpose for which you have joined professional speakers. There must be one purpose. You want to become accredited speaker, or you want to be known as the professional speaker or keynote speaker of the world. You want to be a motivational speaker or the greatest storyteller, or want to be the greatest trainer. There must be one specific purpose that you have to decide before even joining the Toastmasters, professional speakers, that you state in your statement of purpose in your video recording. Once you have decided the purpose, then you have to decide what is my long-term goal. And that long-term goal, at professional speaker, we see it at 10 years of time. So right now, we are at 2020. How do you visualize, by the utilization of the membership of professional speakers, you are going to see yourself at 2030? And for you to become that person, or having skilled with that expertise, how you see yourself at the end of 3 years now? Because there should be some measurement at the middle level. And for you to see yourself at the end of 3 years, what you have to do right now. So for example, if I have a destination to go to Chandigarh, and I am standing at the diversion where one way is leading to Chandigarh and other way is leading to Jaipur. If I have created my short-term goals to reach Nibrana Fort today, I may achieve my short-term goals. But when I reach my destination at 250 kilometers later, I have reached to a wrong destination at all. However efficient we may be, how fast we drive, how efficient we have been throughout the journey, but we are not going to the right direction. Hence, for you to see yourself at the 3 years end, we must think what we should do right now. and that is measured in 3 months' time. And every 3 months, we keep it changing and changing and changing. Hence, once you have decided your purpose, your long-term vision, what you have to focus on only your short-term goals. For example, again, if you are driving to Chandigarh at the night, you cannot see the entire journey through Chandigarh. You can see only 200 or 3 meters away. And once you reach 200 or 300 meters, then you see further 200 and 300 meters. And in this way, you reach 250 kilometers to reach Chandigarh. What we are focusing, what we can see it, only our short-term goals. Hence, we have to decide, we have to put much brainstorming when we are deciding our short-term goals, and it is going to take a longer time than deciding the entire purpose of our life as professional speakers. The second thing that I want to talk is what should be our goal. Sometimes it happens that we start to relate our journey as professional speakers with Toastmasters path. Toastmasters International is doing the right thing. We are taking the leverage of Toastmasters International membership to our benefit, and we are taking a structured growth. Hence, becoming a distinguished Toastmaster or becoming or completing a path or completing a level cannot be our personal goal unless this completion of path or a distinguished Toastmastership is coming in our way to that purpose, unless we are mapping our journey throughout that our blueprint. Because once you complete your DTM, there is not the Toastmaster International is not going to give you pension every month after at the end of every month. Hence, we have to achieve our purpose as professional speakers beyond Toastmasters, and we have to use the pathways, the educational system of Toastmasters International as our tools. Now, you all are very smart to understand the smartness of our goals. I think all of us already know. So specific is terrific. If our goal is not specific, we are not going to materialize it. For example, if I just say I want to deliver a keynote speaker at corporate, other people might not understand you or may not be not able to help you. But if you say that I want to meet the L&D of IBM, then there is a possibility that some of the member or the guest knows that person at IBM, or if not IBM, at TCS, or if not TCS, at Infosys. But you are going to go in that direction if you are specific. Specific is terrific. Whenever you are making your goal, you must be specific. Second thing is measurable. If we are not able to measure what is our goal, we are not able to see if we are even progressing at all. For example, you might have seen that there are 33% progress in some of our members' goal. I just put my goal, I want to be a great speaker. Now, what is the meaning of great? You want to be bring perfection in your vocal variety, or you want to move your audience, you want to be a storyteller, and you want to deliver at a local area, at a state level, at international level. What is your measurement? If we are not specific to the measurement, the goal is going to defeat the purpose. Second thing is achievable. I have a small limitation on this achievable because I don't think anything in the world is not achievable, but still we need to see the practicality of the goal. If I say I want to be invited in the United States of America Assembly for a keynote address in 3 months, it is practically not possible because we have not a blueprint. Hence, it should be achievable. It should be practical in our way. And second thing is realistic. That is that your goal should be relevant to the objectives of a professional speaker or your own objectives at a professional speaking terms. If it is not realistic, you are not going to, the whole purpose is going to be defeated. And the last thing is timely. If we are not timing it, then it's going to take perpetuality to achieve our goals. And I just want to put one more letter to this smartness, that is C, that is challenging. If your goal is not challenging, you are not going to grow. For example, and this challengeness is specific to every member. So you have to find your weakness and get rid on it one by one. For example, one person can put their goal, I have to eat rajma rice, 50 plates of rajma rice by the end of this week. This goal can be challenging for Toastmaster Rolly Sinha, but cannot be challenging for it. Now, the main problem that comes for putting and maintaining our short-term goals is our day-to-day life. Every year, as per one of the study, it is seen that in the month of January, there is increase in the membership of gym by 80%. And that goes down to normal by the month of March. Because we are too much rambunctious, we are too enthusiastic at the time of New Year's Eve under the influence of alcohol. But as we move forward, the life happens. One day you are having a bad day and you don't want to pursue your short-term goal for that day, and that diminishes your intensity of going towards that direction. I have also started and left many of the habits earlier. Hence, I wanted to get rid of this. And that's how I am now doing two things. One, I want to put everything in my habit. If I put everything in my habit, it is going to be effortless for me after 1 month. So whatever I want to achieve, I work on it forcefully for 1 month at least. For example, if I want to do some exercise for vocal variety, I forcefully do it, even for it is 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes every day, however bad or adverse situation is. That's how you can find me running in the park at 5:30 morning, even if I have fever, even if there is raining outside. So you have to forcefully do it until it becomes your habit, and then it will be your effortless exercise. And second thing, what I am doing is I do a meditation that includes visualization of my long-term goal, medium-term goal, and short-term goals. That way, I reinforce in my subconscious every day. I have to pursue this, and I cannot deviate from it anytime. We are a member of Toastmasters International. And the objectives of Toastmasters International is to create more effective communicator and more effective leaders. And they are doing wonders, and they have changed the lives of millions of people. People join Toastmasters, become better speaker, and leave Toastmasters. Everything there is self-based. They want, it is they who control what to say, when to speak, what to do, and how to do it. Hence, when you get a award in terms of education, or you claim a distinguished Toastmasters or competent communicator award, there is no cross-examination. No one is going to check if you have become distinguished or not, or you are competent or not. Here at the Professional Speakers, we are taking a leverage forward and it wants to lead towards professional speaking. Hence, it is the discipline that we have to maintain, and that discipline is in the form of our short-term goals that is correctly placed, correctly put, and the compilation of short-term goals is going to take us to the dream of becoming a professional speaker. There is no force in the world that can stop us, and we will not even be surprised when we will be a professional speaker in the long term after 10 years or whatever goal you decide. Hence, we have to promise only one thing: discipline for short-term goals. Now, I just don't want to end this professional speech by giving you a call to action. I want to work on the goals of every member. Can you all click in this link? Can you all, are you all able to click on this link? Just
No.
open it, don't start to fill it. Okay, just click it. And as I have told that creating a short-term goal is not a 1 minute exercise. It will take maybe a week or 2 or 3 days. So please keep this link with you, and I will check on Wednesday what is your progress, and we will complete the short-term goals. We will start with the purpose, long-term, medium-term, and we will complete the short-term goals by the end of this week. Can I have a confirmation from all of you?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur, for a wonderful speech. Please observe a minute of silence to write the feedback for professional speaker. Timer, please let me know once a minute is over. Thank you, Rolly. Now, coming back to the theme. Now, there are specific guidelines how to organize an introduction for the speaker. The first one is give star billings or share credits to the speaker and the audience. It directs the audience attention to the speaker. Second, know what the speaker is going to talk about and plan your introduction around the topic. Number 3, emphasize to the audience about the speaker's expertise and experience about the topic on which the speaker is going to deliver the speech. Fourth point is set the mood for the speaker and tone for the event. Last but not the least, your introduction or speaker's introduction should be very quite brief, so make sure every words count. Now coming to our third segment, which is prepare speeches section. Our first speaker is distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi. Over the 5 years as a Toastmaster, Devina Chaturvedi has been known to challenge herself to deliver different types of speeches. Her favorite speeches are those where she presents a breakdown of different aspects of public speaking in simple and memorable terms. A budding speaker and storyteller. Before she made the error of prioritizing her education over all else, she served as a leader in District 41 at the club division and district level. Her motto in life is to find method in madness. And she is most inspired by the words, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope," by Martin Luther King Jr. In Toastmasters journey, we know that if we get mentored or if we mentor to someone, it is a development on both sides. Today, the speaker is going to talk around the mentoring. She is going to deliver Project 3 from Level 2, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring from Visionary Communication Path. The speech objectives are to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring, to share aspects of previous experience as proche. The speaker also would like to your feedback on the aspects mentioned in the project, along with a yes or no answer on whether what you think it would qualify as a story. That is, if you think it was a well-woven narrative or just a recounting of a series of facts, so fill or provide your feedback accordingly. Her short-term goals is to deliver the analysis of professional speeches on various platforms by end of this year. Please help me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmasters Devina Chaturvedi. Nickelodeon Devina Chaturvedi.
When I walked through the doors at Delhi World Toastmasters in September 2015, clueless as ever, I sat in one corner of the room trying to avoid everyone's attention. Mr. Toastmaster, I was right to do so, for as I scanned the room a little into the meeting, everyone laid on me such a terrible gaze that I couldn't help but feel like a deer in the headlights. Everyone, but one gentleman who, oblivious to my paranoia, was scribbling something expeditiously in his little brown notepad. I was curious to know who he was when the Toastmaster of the day helped me by inviting Toastmaster Nikhil Khanna, our general evaluator for the day. In a white check shirt, neatly tucked away in grey pants, with rolled up sleeves and an unironed collar, to me he seemed to have perfected the balance of formal and informal. He provided his report in such a positive manner that it took me a while to realize how critical he was being of everything that had happened in the meeting. I was mesmerized by his speaking talent and wanted to become like him. So you'd understand how thrilled I was when 3 months later I found out he had been assigned to mentor me. I had many mentors then, but Nikhil was special. I distinctly remember for my icebreaker, he didn't ask me to rehearse with him. He didn't even ask me to rehearse a lot on my own. All he asked of me was that I write the speech and send it to him. I asked him about this later, after I had won the Best Speaker Award for that speech. And he told me that by observing me at the club, he understood that my biggest challenge was to get the speech on paper and not to memorize or deliver it with ease. He told me, and these are his own words, if he had given me every piece of feedback that he had for that speech, all it would have achieved is to overwhelm me. And trust me, none of us needed it that day. That is when I learned my first lesson in public speaking. To become better, I did not have to master everything all at once. All I had to do was take things step by step and work on one weakness at a time. Conversations with Nikhil were full of lessons like these. And the confidence that he had in my abilities was a major morale boost for me. It pushed me to put my best foot forward in order to avoid disappointing him. Then came the contest season. the club executive committee and other revered members of the club all started pushing me to reach the 6 speeches mark and participate in the international speech contest that year. I was 3 speeches away with 2 weeks left and 1 meeting in between with 0 speeches at hand to deliver, even if I managed to get the slot. As a result, I became extremely anxious. I wrote one disappointment of a speech and sent it over to Nikhil. As soon as he saw it, he called me right up. When I shared my conundrum with him, his first reaction, he just laughed. And then he gave me my first lesson in the why of things. The logic behind setting eligibility conditions is not to just check boxes. It is for the member to experience all the challenges and the growth that comes of engaging in all those activities. Nikhil ensured that I took things step by step and became better by learning things as they were meant to be learned. Guess what? I ended up not participating in contests that year. But when I did, the next year, I had a podium finish at the club level. But that's just the story of my communication journey. When it came to leadership, Nikhil had me dive in head first into the bottomless ocean of leadership at Toastmasters with my first EC role in just 9 months of being a Toastmaster, the Vice President Education. I was so sure that there were others willing and more competent to take the role up that I spent an entire evening arguing with him about it. After an hour or so, when he had lost his patience with me, he just asked me one question. Devina, if elected, will you discharge the duties of this office to the best of your abilities? To which I said, yes. And the rest, as they say, is history. It's because of Nikhil that I learned my first lesson in leadership and service leadership at that very day. If you intend to serve, you're willing to serve, and you know you will give it your best shot, declare your intent, let the members decide whether they would require that service of you or not. Formally, our mentor-mentee relationship lasted for the same amount of time it takes a handful of cells to form an entire human being inside a mother's womb. Coincidence? Maybe, but it certainly is poetic how in just 9 months, Nikhil transformed me from someone who had a handful of skills into someone who developed a plethora of them and knew exactly how to use them to her advantage. Just like a Nickelodeon, Nikhil by Nikhil made me rich with communication and leadership skills. Which is why, when I walked through the doors at Professional Speakers in August 2018, self-assured as ever, I could walk right up to the stage and be the center of attention. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi, for a wonderful speech. I request all the members and guests to observe this for a minute. Timer, please let me know once time is over. Thank you. Now, our next speaker is Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. He is a training consultant and claims himself is a lazy person, which means he tries to do the most in the least effort. Not that he said tries, nor does. He is so lazy that he believes that if he can make an effort, that everyone else can make the same effort. In fact, they can be better. That is why he sees a WCPS in each one of you. We have heard many times that students learn from teachers, but today he is going to bring something new. He is going to deliver a speech from Advanced Mentoring from Pathways Mentoring Program. The objective of his speech are to apply mentoring skills during a long time mentoring commitment, to share some aspects of his experience as a mentor. His short-term goal is to learn to smile naturally by September end. Please help me in joining Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. A teacher learns a lesson. A teacher learns a lesson. Rupinder Singh.
I never had a mentor when I started out on my Toastmasters journey. And when I went about it, when I realized that I would have been assigned a mentor, that I was entitled to a mentor, and I still did not get a mentor, and that I've still made it so far, I promised myself one thing, that I'm going to mentor anyone and everyone who seeks my help. And I'm going to help anyone and everyone. Because a group of people I barely knew came together to help me, to make me what I am today, without whom I would not be standing here in front of you. So when this person from TCS Maitri GG7 Club came to me and said that I need help with my area contest speech, I was only too happy to help. Now that has a background. This person in his club contest was not able to complete his speech. He did not even place in the top 3. But circumstances shaped themselves so that the first person who came first backed out, the second one fell ill, the third one probably got married or decided to get married. Don't know what happened there. And I don't know who the fourth one was, but it fell on him to give that speech. I said, okay, let's do this. And guess what? If you were there on that day and if you heard this person speak, you would understand the kind of speech he gave. Because on any given day, in any given contest, that speech would have won hands down. Now understand the background. This person who probably came 5th in the club contest makes it to the top of an area level contest. Imagine where the expectations are. And though somebody from my own club had qualified, I was secretly wishing that this person could win. It would be such a fairy tale. But then, fairy tales are called fairy tales for a reason. He did not place first. He did not place second. He placed third. That was the end of the contest as far as he was concerned. But it was the beginning of a lesson for me. Because as soon as he lost, within 2 days, he came back to me and he said that I want to help Amit, the winner, win at the district level. I was taken aback. Thus far, I had seen people win contests or lose them and sulk away or enjoy themselves. But he decided to pull himself together. And he said that I want to help out the person who came first. He registered for our semi-annual conference. I'm forgetting the name. He went there and he helped that person out. For me, it was a learning, because till then I had often heard it is not about winning. It is about the learning. And for me, it was just a byline. Every time I lost, I would say, yeah, it's not all about winning. And every time I would win, I would probably enjoy it to the fullest. But that day, my mentee, my student, taught me a lesson And as a mentor, as a teacher, I learned a lesson. I learned the true value of what it means when somebody says it is not about winning. And even by coming third, that person stood first in my eyes. In the district finals, the person, Amit, actually went on to come third. So he was one of the first district champions we produced, district place finishers. This person went on to become the president of the club. And every time we would have a conversation, he would say, "Can you become my life mentor?" And I found it overwhelming. I did not know whether I had that capability. And I would always say, you know what, let's see where it goes. He had to ultimately leave Toastmasters because he was leaving his organization. He's now settled in Rohtak, and Rohtak does not have a Toastmasters club. But I know that the day Rohtak has a Toastmasters club, he will be the first person to answer that call. He also happens to be sitting amongst us. It is my proud privilege to introduce Saurabh Gandhi, the person who taught me the value that winning is not everything. And Saurabh, I promised you that I will not ask you to join my club. And I intend to keep that promise. But I will ask you this, join a Toastmasters club. I'm asking you to join a Toastmasters club because these days meetings are happening online and you should not have too much of a problem attending those meetings. But what I also feel is, Saurabh, that Toastmasters needs people like you. It needs people who know how it is to lose. I once read how a person plays a game shows some of their character. How they lose it shows all of it. And that day, you showed me character. You taught me character. And that day, a teacher learned a lesson. Toastmaster.
What a wonderful speech, Rupi. It refreshes all Toastmasters memory. I think one could relate. Please observe a minute to write the feedback for the speaker. Thank you, Rolly. Now it's time for fun. Gas charge up. It's time for table topic session. Today, the table topic session will be conducted by Raj Mehta, another distinguished Toastmaster. He is a visiting faculty, a trainer in soft skills, and speaker on entrepreneurship, innovation, and incubation. And he recently achieved another distinguished award. He's a postgraduate in science and MBA in finance. Mr. Mehta has a rich work experience of 35 years in management and trainings in private, multinational, and government organizations like UB Group, FACOR Group, and Ministry of Power, and also play a technology transfer officer role at Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer at IIT Delhi. He is fond of listening and watching birds, people, greenery, and music, etc. He is a progressive learner and experimenter. He strongly believes that perseverance shall take you places. Please help me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Sandeep Kumar. First, let us talk about the objective of this session, table topic session. The objectives of table topic session are to enable you to face any situation in your life whenever you are required to respond to a person all of a sudden. Because the table topic session will teach you 4 qualities: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. Every table topic speaker shall be allowed to speak from 1 to 2 minutes. On completion of 1 minute, green card shall be shown. On completion of 1.5 minutes, yellow card shall be shown. And on completion of 2 minutes, red card shall be shown. And this will remain up till the time a table topic speaker stops speaking. So are you ready, guys? Whosoever wants to speak, 2 conditions. Number 1, their videos must be on. And number 2, they have to use the word of the day. Do you remember the word of the day? Rambunctious. That is full of energy and difficult to control. Now raise your hands. So shall I take one member from the club first?
Sure.
Who had raised the hands? Can I see the hands again? So, Mukesh. Okay, Ankush Shrimali. Ankush, as you do not have any role today, so you shall be your first speaker. And your topic is seek promotion from your reporting officer while belittling him or her. Seek promotion from your reporting officer while belittling him or her. Over to Ankush Shrimali.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raj Mehta. I would take Mukesh sir as the hypothetical boss just for the sake of the. So,
Okay.
hello, sir. How are you doing? I believe that our company has started working on giving promotions to our existing employees, and I believe that you must be having me as the front end contender in your mind for this position. Now, I know that you have been a ambitious boss throughout the entire season, and I believe that I have tried my best to match your expectations and also tried to do whatever you had done, but not be a yes man. Of course, trying to bring my ideas, my own ideas, and trying to implement whatever is possible for the company. And I also believe that you must be accepting it that you might not have been so supportive at times for me. You were a very critical boss which used to always trigger me at times by calling me at 2 a.m. in night and also 4 a.m. in morning for the same thing again and again. And I believe that even though I patiently tried to manage whatever things were being given to me from you, but I believe we can do far more productive things if I become what you are at right now in our company. So I believe that you would definitely consider this, that I should be promoted and given the position what you are having right now. And maybe you can also try for some other positions in different companies if you are willing to. And with this, I rest my case. Over to you, Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you. Now, can we have Toastmaster Parul? Parul,
Yes.
I will give you a topic, but after every 30 seconds, I'll speak TC. So first you will have to speak in support of the topic, and as soon as I say TC, you will have to speak in opposition of the topic. Ready?
Okay. Ready.
So your topic is importance of mentors. Importance of mentors. Over to Toastmaster Parul.
Okay. The mentor is like your teacher, And it's very essential that you have a mentor in your life, because sometimes you don't know what to do and how to do. So your mentor can explain you, like I I'll take my example. I'm very new to Toastmaster and I don't have any mentor right now. So I will be very grateful if someone could assign me a mentor so that I can go through with my Toastmaster journey.
TC.
And okay, but sometimes mentor can, impose things on you, like you think something else and your mentor want you to do something else. Like again, I'll take my example. In my last club, my mentor was Toastmaster Sandeep. I was thinking something else, and he wanted me to do something else. So I think in sometimes mentor, you think that it's better you should not
TC.
have the mentor. And yes, mentor can help you in improving yourself uh, in all aspects of life, not in Toastmaster, not in your even in your personal life as well, in your professional life, everywhere. So I think mentor is very essential for your any journey. Thank you.
Okay,
Over to you.
thank you. Now, can we have Saurabh Gandhi? Saurabh,
Yes, sir.
okay. Saurabh, now you have to weep and laugh in the same table topic speech. And your situation or your topic is on the death of your father or your teacher or your boss.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Today I'm feeling very, very, very happy. Do you want to know the reason for that? Yes, my teacher has died. Ultimately, finally, the person who was making me so angry, so frustrated, so difficult for me at each and every instance, that person has died today. Yes, that person has died. When I have to switch, sir,
Anytime.
okay, he was a good person. He was a great person. The person who has died today, he was such a great person. I'm feeling so vacant, so vacancies there in my heart. I cannot just say in words that person has died. As today is Guru Purnima also, so I'm missing that person a lot. In reality also, a person has died a few days back. He was my mentor, so I'm missing him so much. I don't know. I have never thought of laughing at the same incident, but yes, missing someone who has been your teacher, who has been your mentor, it gives a lot vacancy in your heart. So that is a great thing. And yeah, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next victim is Kaushal. Kaushal, put yourself on unmute.
Sure.
And now listen to the topic. You were searching for your towel to take bath when suddenly you raise hand for speaking in table topic session. Okay. While continuing your search for the towel, speak on benefits of coronavirus. While searching your towel, speak on benefits of coronavirus.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. And I'm really rambunctious after seeing this topic for sure. And I'm really, seeing for my towel at the same time. It's really difficult, task because it's all working from home and I cannot see my towel. And at the same time, you're calling me for speaking on the positives of coronavirus. I'm sure that this coronavirus has given a lot of opportunity to all of us to introspect and find out what our purposes are in our real life. And at the same time, we are working from home. At the same time, we are able to reduce the pollution. We can see so many positive impacts all across the globe. And we can see that this is not some virus that is hitting us, but this is a kind of, like this is the kind of karma that we have done to this, done with this planet at times. And we can see not only numbers that are which are increasing due to this pandemic, but at the same time we can see people losing their jobs. But somehow we can also see its positives, like we are able to see which jobs are important on this planet. We can see we have started respecting people who are doing some jobs we don't used to respect in past. We know that what is important. We know that researchers, scientists, and health workers are more important than the people who are into entertainment industry, or people who are just creating some kind of psychophantic and hypothetical situation where you are more prone to procrastinate in your life somehow. So this is a wonderful time to introspect, look within, and see what you are made up for. Probably you can also research, or probably you can look inside to search what are your short-term goals, medium-term and long-term goals. And I'm sure that by doing this, you will be able to reduce your long-time period, that is 10 years, you can reduce that to 5 years, and probably you can switch yourself to master some other goal in next short term and medium term and long term goal. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Ms. Timer, do we have some more time? Can we take one more topic?
Sorry, sir, I would disagree. We have already crossed 1.5 minutes past the time.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this was the table topic session of 99th meeting. Over to the Toastmaster of the day, Sandeep Kumar.
Thank you, District Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Let's give you a big round of applause. Now move on to the theme. Now there are some points to be remembered while giving the introductions. Sometimes the speaker send or share their introduction, and other times you create your own from the person's bio. But while introducing the person on the stage, please take care of 3 points. The first one is it should be practiced well in advance. Don't make any introduction on the spot. Second, when you find the difficulty to pronounce name, it is better to interact to the concerned speaker before the event or day before the event, because it also shows or demonstrates the respect to the speaker. Last but not the least, don't create any joke during the introduction. It may go to disasters. Now, next segment is what we all about. I would not call as a power talk, I would call as a rambunctious talk today, which will be delivered by distinguished Toastmaster Mukta Nadkar. Our Power Talk speaker has been a Toastmaster for over 13 years. She has served many positions as a district officer and also in the club. Recently, she has been in a immediate past PQD for District 98. She has also been to international speech contests at district level twice and completed her DTM journey 4 times. After having worked for over 32 years in teaching the hotel industry and business, she is now retired to Toastmaster and traveling. With having a big smile on the face, she is going to talk about how smile matters and how your smile matters. Let me join or welcoming District Toastmaster Mukta Nadkar. Your smile matters, Mukta Nadkar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Sandeep, yes, your smile does matter. When I was invited to speak at the club today by Rupinder, I really wondered what I would say to professional speakers. What topic should I choose? It was supposed to be about communication. Should I talk about content and tell them how to assemble the best content for a speech? Should I talk about organization and tell them how to have a fabulous opening, a body, and a conclusion that everybody will remember? Should I talk about stories and the impact it has in our lives? Should I talk about that language, which is always so sweet to hear and wax eloquent about it? Should I talk about great body movements, which everybody loves to look at? What should I talk about? And then I thought, before we even come on stage, before we even look at an audience, before we give our speech, the content, the delivery, what is the one thing that we bring with us to an audience? What is that one thing that is so powerful, so capturing?
We seem to have lost Mukta.
Yeah.
We sort of lost you.
I think I'm back.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
back.
Yeah, you might want to turn off your video.
Okay. Is that okay now?
I was saying just to.
Rupinder, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can somebody confirm that they can hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to carry on. So one thing that we bring to an audience, whether we are speaking to a few people, to a large audience, is our smile. Today, when I am speaking in front of you, I would try to put on my audio, video, so that you can see my face. Today, when I come to you and I bring that smile, I think as an audience, you automatically relax. You feel comfortable when somebody is smiling at you rather than a serious face. You feel that you can trust that person, you can rely on that person, and you want to hear what they have to say. So that smile is very important. And even if you don't feel that way, relaxed, comfortable, it makes me comfortable. When I come to speak in front of you, and if I am bringing a smile to my face, I just feel comfortable. I want to address you. I want to talk to you. And that is true for every speaker. When a speaker, when any person brings a smile along with them, that is what captivates the audience. It is long before those words are spoken, long before that language, organization, movement is seen and heard. It is that smile. So friends, remember, your smile matters always. It is the best networking tool that we can ever have. Not only in communication, not only in our Toastmasters fraternity, but whether it's at your workplace, whether it is in professional life, whether it is in your family life. It is the best networking and social tool. Now, let me tell you, when I was just married and also wanted to go to my mother's place, I would think a million things to tell her. How my boys were growing, how I was doing at work, whether I got a promotion, all of the things that I wanted to tell her. But when I arrived at her doorstep and she opened that door and smiled, I used to forget everything. That smile was what was the something that I was waiting for. That smile made that connect, and words were not required. So in our association with people, before we even open our mouth, that smile is what is going to make us trust one another. That smile is something which is going to break all barriers. Imagine yourself sitting in a train, sitting at the airport. Of course, we don't do it now because all of that has been banned and stopped. But just think about it. When your next door neighbor, when the person sitting beside you just gives you a smile, that is your opening to make conversation, to find out something more about that person. And it is only one smile which is required to sometimes build a lasting friendship. So a smile is your best networking and social tool. So some of you may ask me, what if I am a naturally serious person? I saw one of Rupinder's goals, which says he would like to smile. And today, as he was talking about somebody he had mentored and somebody who came 5th at a club level and then went all the way, he should have been rambunctious about it. He should have had so much energy and smile, and yet he did not use that opportunity to smile. So let me tell you something, friends. Smiling is a habit. It is a habit that you can develop and build. You are not born with it. Some of us are at least not born with it. But we make a consistent, constant effort to smile, because that one smile is going to give us the courage, the positivity to speak well. When I come here with a smile, I forget my fear, I forget my nervousness, because my mind is focused on the good, the positive that I am going to speak with. So friends, if you are not a smiley person, you can develop that, because that smile is going to help you focus on the positive. And when you focus on the positive, you are going to use words that come out positively. And when you use words that are good, positive, encouraging for somebody else, your tone, your voice, it automatically changes. It becomes more sincere. It becomes soft. And it all started with that smile. And if you think the other way around, because some people say, oh, if I'm in a good mood and if I have the right attitude and if everything has gone well and at home, then I'm automatically going to have a smile. But let's turn it around. Let us begin with the smile. Let us make that smile a habit, so that when we come to an audience, when we come home from work, tired, no matter how bad that day has been, when we come mentally deciding that we are going to smile, then everything else falls into place. We come with a good attitude, we come with the good words, we come with that good voice. And imagine, these are all our tools of communication, something that we are practicing here in our clubs. How to have a good voice, how to have vocal variety, how to speak positively. Why don't we begin with that smile? And believe you, friends, practice it. Try it out for a week, a month. Try it in front of the mirror. And you automatically, when you smile, you will automatically have the right words, the right attitudes, speak and face that audience. They say that people working in an organization, when they see their boss come in with a smile, and if they are greeted in the lift with a smile, they stay in that company for 60% longer than other people who move. I know these days in companies, people move for a small increment in salaries. That is true, but people remain loyal to an organization if they are greeted every morning with a smile and a simple hello. They just feel warm, welcoming, and comfortable in that organization. But that smile needs to be genuine. That smile, when it is genuine, it is your biggest selling point. Now imagine when you go to a shop, there are a row of shops, and then you have these different vendors. Why do you keep going to one person all of the time? They all have the same product. They all have the same services. But the guy who greets you, who's jovial, who says, hi, how's your family? How's the weather? I hope you're keeping well, who always greets you with a smile, you will feel more inclined to go to that person over and over again. And that is how it is with us. When we smile, we are the biggest influencers of people. We smile and we influence somebody. We smile and we persuade somebody to do something. It's just a smile. Imagine if you are a young mother and you are going to a school concert and your little child is sitting across the aisle, nervous as hell, go on that stage. And then you look at the child and you smile and just make one gesture. Go up on that stage. That's all your child needs. That simple smile. You have influenced him, you have encouraged and persuaded him, and there he goes up on the stage to perform, because now he knows no fear. And that is true for everybody. It can be your mentee in a club, your mentee who's giving an icebreaker. You have coached that mentee. That mentee has performed and prepared, and again is nervous to give that first speech. And then you just give that encouraging smile. And that's all it takes for your mentee to deliver on stage. That smile matters. Your smile matters to the mentee. There is a Chinese proverb. You know how the Chinese are always so wise about everything. And they say that anybody who does not have a smile is not fit to open a shop. And yet I wonder, when you go to a Chinatown, in any part of the world, that they're so grumpy and crabby, did they not hear these wise words of their own countrymen, that you need to have a smile to be a shop owner? Well, jokes apart, sometimes you need to even fake a smile. Now, when you fake a smile, it is not because you're trying to deceive somebody. It's just because you are trying to hide an emotion which you don't want to show. You cannot smile all of the time in life and in a speech. There are times when things are serious and you might need to fake a smile. Now, just let me give you an example of what I mean. Recently, we had our district elections, and I lost the elections, and I was on camera, and there were about 800 people attending our district conference and the elections. Now, when you lose something, it's very easy to run away and not smile and switch off that video. But I was the PQD. I had lost. I had to have a presence for everybody to see, for my other leaders to see, for the division directors, area directors. They had worked with me the whole year. I couldn't run and hide. I had to keep a smile on my face, congratulate somebody else, and keep that video on all the time. So sometimes, if you have to show courage, if you have to show character, you need to have a smile. And sometimes it could be fake. But I hope that's not the case all of the time. All of the time, your smile should be genuine so that you feel warm, you make others feel warm, you empathize with them with your smile, you encourage them, you influence them, and you smile for all the right reasons. So today I'm going to leave you with just an acronym which is called SAW. SAW. If you smile like the S in SAW, you will automatically come with the right attitude. When I smile, I focus myself on the thing at hand and I have the right attitude. And when you have the right attitude, you will always have the right words. You will always say the right things without hurting anybody, without being too serious, being warm and kind and friendly. So smile to have the right attitude so that you end up with the right words. Friends, we are here in Toastmasters and learn so many communication skills. We learn to organize, we learn to have a general purpose, we learn to say the best words, we learn to use gestures, body language, we learn to use tools to present our speeches. But how many people really tell you, bring a smile to that stage? The next time you speak, practice and start with a smile. Even if your speech is serious, it doesn't mean you don't have to smile. In between your speech, pause, look at your audience, give them a smile, and continue on a serious note. It is a phenomenal strategy, and I hope each one of you will adopt it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mukta Nadkar. Make smile a habit, provided it should be genuine. If we smile, it may automatically lead to right attitude, resulting into right words. This is all we got. Again, a big round of applause from Mukta Nadkar. Now, I would like to conclude the theme of the meeting. Someone rightly said, a good introduction is more than a background, and hence it motivates speakers and enables audience to listen attentively. I will like to hand over the stage to our general evaluator, who is Distinguished Toastmaster Shipriya Gori. She is a talent and change consultant by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. She loves to travel and explore. Please help me in joining Shipriya Gori.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Welcome to the evaluation section. At the end of the day, we give speeches, we take roles so that we could be better communicators and leaders. And this section will help us with all that information which will help us become a better communicator. In professional speakers, we do things a little differently. Here, I would be inviting the professional speaker of the day and two prepared speakers on stage, and they would be soliciting feedback from different audience. I would request the audience to kindly be ready with the list of commendations and recommendations. Kindly restrict to one commendation and one recommendation. In case if your point has already been shared by someone else, I would request you to kindly add a new point, or you could pass your turn. Now, without further ado, I would request Distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, the professional speaker of the day, to kindly come on stage. I would request the deck master, the host, to kindly put him on spotlight, and I can request the others, him to solicit feedback from the audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Shipriya. Now, I would like to receive feedback from all of you. Let me see, can I start with Mukta? Mukta, I need your evaluation and your feedback on my
Yes,
message.
I have positive for you, which is that your energy, your style, and your presentation, your PowerPoint, they were eye-catching, extremely wonderful. Today, I could not hear you. I don't know if you have adjusted the distance that you were standing at from the camera and the sound. So I lost a lot of what you were saying. I saw your gestures, I saw the screen, but I think in a system that we are in now, we really need to practice one-on-one with people to find out if we are good. I know that the internet issues change on a daily basis, but I think you could practice it so that we have better clarity to what you're saying.
Thank you very much. Can I hear from Kaushal?
Yeah, sure. I need to just excuse myself that I was not aware of the rules that I have to make all the notes, but still I have some points for sure. I would say that I would repeat and go with the ma'am's words, like your energy was marvelous, and the best part that you showed us the entire physical setup of the meeting room, and that was good. Your gestures and eye contact also, considering the digital etiquettes, was wonderful. I have one recommendation while preparing your presentation, where you were showing that short term, long term, and the medium term. Somehow the proportion of that graph was not equal. That if you are sharing something at the scale of 10, then you have to show equally. Like probably you have made some graph on Excel sheet that would have been better. And at the same time, a little bit about the content part, that life is too short for us. We try to do so many things. So 10 years, spending 10 years to complete one goal is somehow too long. And we always cannot go with the Stephen Covey's words. We might do some modifications and tweaking according to our own life purpose. So probably it could have been presented in a better way, but overall it was a wonderful, and I'm really happy to remember Stephen Covey one more time after reading his, like, I remember it was 8 habits, and then it was some related to confrontation. So kudos to that. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to the general evaluator. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can I hear from Devina?
Okay, I agree with Kaushal on the duration front that we discussed before as well. In addition to that, I like the content. I got a lot of relevant information today. I would have liked it to be a little less instructional and a little bit more inspirational in your style. That would have made it a more professional.
I'm now not able to hear you properly. Okay. Okay, can I hear from Rolly?
Sorry. The speech was structured with relatable examples and content, and the weightage of the segments in in the speech was quite proportionate in terms of importance and the time that should have been spent there. But I felt that the problems that we face and how we should counteract those came a little too late. So I would have liked that. Also, I realize the importance of smart, but I don't realize the importance of wise in your title.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I hear from Ankur? Ankur?
I think he just got disconnected.
Okay, Sandeep?
All the points are covered. The only thing is regarding the challenges, I think should be more how to face the challenges when it's come to the SMART goals. So I think that could be there in the slides, or maybe some insights on that.
Okay, thank you very much. I see the red card, and back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. I would request everyone to kindly restrict the evaluation which is specific to the speaker's speech, and so that we could utilize the time better and we could give the speaker more inputs. Now I move on to the first prepared speaker for the day, distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi. I would request the deck master to kindly put her on the spotlight, and I would request her also to solicit her feedback from different members of the audience.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. To prevent evaluation from becoming rambunctious, I'll be calling you on one by one to share your feedback. I request you to share first your opinion on whether this qualifies as a story or not, in your opinion, and then your recommendations. So to begin with, if I may call Toastmaster Rupinder.
Devina, it very much qualifies as a story, in my opinion. One feedback that I have for you is that when you were standing and delivering, I think you became very conscious of whether you were going over the edge or not. And I think you were trying to contain your moments. So probably just before your speech, if you could kind of establish, maybe mark them with a ticker tape or something, that, okay, I'm not going to go outside this zone. I'm not going to go outside this zone to my left or right. Otherwise, wonderful speech. Loved it.
Could I now hear from Toastmaster Shipriya?
Hi, Devina. I really like your speech also. I'll jump to the recommendations. It would be better for you to perhaps explain the characters and give some idea about how they looked so that we are able to imagine them, especially Toastmaster Nikhil. And also somewhere what I felt was lacking in your speech is the organized flow. So if I have to talk about an interrelationship between two people, it's about meeting, then of course there is some amount of conversation, and then a conflict and a conflict resolution. So I think somewhere it kind of missed. So in case if you want to try it again in a different context altogether, perhaps you can include the elements of a speech, especially in a storytelling.
Okay. So like you mean an arc instead of a straight line. Could I hear from Toastmaster Anshupriya?
Devina, I will send you in writing.
Cool. Toastmaster Parul?
Yeah, Devina, this is the first time I heard you. You are very fluent. I really like the texture of your voice. It's crisp and clear. And the recommendation is, what I observed is, I observed some unnecessary body movement. I agree with Rupinder sir that there was some unnecessary body movement in your speech. That's it. Overall, a well-prepared speech.
Could I hear from Toastmaster Raj?
Yeah. Devina, as far as qualification as a story concerned, so a story has a setting and a plot and character and then ending. So as far as the ending is concerned, I felt that it was a bit abrupt, but otherwise it had all the characters of a story. And talking about, you had great energy and voice and volume and movement, and gesture, hand gesture and body gestures were really great. I liked it, but just work on the ending of this speech. Thank you.
Toastmaster Sandeep?
Yeah, hi Devina. First of all, I'm glad to hear you for such a long time. And my points are already covered by Shipriya, which I was on the transitions part. So be focused on that.
Toastmaster Mukta, would you like to close us out?
Yeah, actually, I loved your speech. I loved your gratefulness to your mentor as the protege. What I would have liked is for him to be highlighted a little more as to where he came from, who he was, how he became your mentor. I didn't quite get that. If you said it, I apologize for it. But I would have liked to know him a little bit more so that I could get a feel for why you were so grateful for all that he had done in your communication leadership journey.
Toastmaster Roli, if there's time, if you'd like to say something.
Okay. I love the title and the way the analogy of birth and the time and womb was connected. I love the sentence, leaders state the intent and let the members decide. I think the ending was a little abrupt. Thank you.
All right. Toastmaster Saurabh, would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you, Devina. Your speech, I know I have heard you speaking about telling many stories. So this was in the same manner. You are great in storytelling. Just I was missing the point raised by Shivpriya, that characters and their characteristics were missing in the speech. So I need a character in the speech, and you can just say about something about him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your feedback, everyone. Back to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi. Now we move on to the third and the final speaker for the day, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. I would request him to kindly put him on spotlight and put himself on spotlight and seek feedback from the members of the audience. And please unmute before you speak. Unmute your other device.
Thank you for reminding that, Madam General Evaluator. In order to save time, I have prepared a list of evaluators. I would like, in that order, Mukesh, Kaushal, Devina, and then Pramila, if we have the time. After that, if we still have time, I'll figure out some more. So Mukesh, starting with you.
Thank you very much, Rupinder. I really enjoyed this speech. There are lots of things that were not there in your previous speeches. That was pathos, emotions. You brought out emotions, and also I like the fact that you brought the observational viewpoint in your mentees. So I really like the speech and don't have much recommendations. Only recommendations when you were speaking, to as if it felt that you are drowning in the screen. So only your above the neck we could see. And at one moment of time, you said, "I am forgetting the name of the event." So that should not be there. You must have written the speech, and you must know the context as a speaker. And third thing, at the closer point, I thought that the speech was not written, and you were filling in the air. So you were preparing the speech at the point. Overall, I enjoyed your emotional part.
Thank you. Kaushal.
Thank you so much, sir. Literally, like I personally like the gray shade of all the characters, and it was totally different dimension of mentor as well as the subject of your story at the same time. So I liked it, and especially when you talk about the vulnerabilities about some subject area, that is so practical, and I really like your practical and more realistic approach in your every speech. When I come to recommendations, I would give you two recommendations. One is like your expressions could have been better in terms of your not only eye contact, but the way you express normal conversation with other people. At the same time, your body language could have been little better. You could have used your hands and gestures and posture to some extent. Otherwise, I have been always a fan of all of your speeches. So yeah, over to you, like general evaluator. Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't get to. Devina.
Hi Rupinder, I liked today that you seem more prepared than you usually do, and congratulations for finally delivering a prepared speech. And as it was said in the module today, a smile would have been the icing on the cake, and you standing and delivering the speech would have been the cherry on top, because that would have allowed you to really express your emotions, not just through your face and your voice, but through your entire body. So this is something that happens when you're feeling a little low, you contract, and when you're feeling a little energized, you expand. This is something that happens even if you don't move at all. That just adds energy to the speech and the speaker.
Thank you. I'll move on to Mukta, and then I would like Saurabh to close out the evaluation. Mukta, you've already evaluated me in your power talk, but anything else that you noticed?
No, actually, I already mentioned you in my speech and about what I thought. And really, today, the way you spoke about this protege of yours had the opportunity to bring a lot more emotion. And I think we are going to be in this platform of online for a long time. I think, Rupinder, you have a lot of opportunity to practice bringing out more emotion in your voice. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. And let's get that protege in. Saurabh Gandhi.
I'm very overwhelmed, sir, that you spoke about something. You at least noticed something, and you spoke about that. I've always been looking you as my mentor, as my, I would not say elder brother because you are too old for that. I would say, uh, but thank you so much for having me here with the entire family, with the Raj sir, Shipriya, with you, Mukesh sir, Devina, and yes, it feels good. I cannot evaluate this speech because this was, I thought this is me speaking, or this is about me. So I don't know, it becomes difficult for me to evaluate such kind of speech. So thank you so much for having me here, sir.
Thank you. And join a club, not necessarily this one. I told you that I would not ask you to do that. So just to very
Yes, sir.
quickly summarize, I need to be more visible, and I need to remember that the event was called Resonance, and expressions and body language could do. I'm going to address just one of those, which is being more visible, moving about. Unfortunately, like you people, I don't have the luxury of a big room. I have a very confined space. If I start moving around, then things will start to fall. When things will start to fall, my wife will get angry. That will affect domestic peace. So in the interest of domestic peace, I did not do that. Thank you so very much. And I actually wonder whether I came to be evaluated or insulted. Because at one point, Devina was saying that I delivered a prepared speech. And now Saurabh says that I'm too old. But on a lighter note, thank you very much, everyone, for your evaluation.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. I did enjoy this section of evaluation, especially where you were found to be too old to be someone's elder brother. That was the cherry on the cake. Now we move to the second aspect of evaluation. There are three parameters which will help us to assess how effectively we are speaking. And these three parameters are nothing but 3 C's of a speech. Number 1, correctness, how correct you are in terms of your grammar. Number 2, clarity, how clearly you are speaking, you're articulating your thoughts. And number 3, the conciseness, are you articulating your thoughts in the specified period of time? And in order to give a detailed report, I would request the TAC team or the supplementary evaluators to kindly share their report. We'll start with the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Anshupriya Prasad.
Thank you, Shipriya. First of all, I would like to tell everyone how many times the word of the day, rambunctious, was used. It was used 4 times. One by DTM Mukta, one by Devina, one by DTM Raj Mehta, and one time by Sandeep. Thank you. And now I would like to share my screen. Please give me a second. So first of all, I'm going to tell everyone about the good use of English. And I have taken 5 names who have spoken good English. And I have also kept the name of Kaushal, though he was given a very less time and he was impromptu, but he managed to say few words. Very good, Kaushal. And Mukta is topping the chart. DTM Mukta has used many good words like eloquent, lingo, smile is the best networking and social tool, jovial, persuade, fixed smile, phenomenal. And second is Mukesh and Devina. So they have used words like residual, leverage, diminishing, deviate, distinctly, put my best foot forward, competent, plethora. And our president, Rupinder, he also used many good words like sulk away, pull together, overwhelming, privilege, and Kaushal, as I said, you used 3-4 very nice words like hypothetical, introspect. So now I would like to move with a not so good use of English. So now I'm going to again share my screen. So as you can see that we are lacking in pronunciation. It is stopping the chart. We are having too many wrong pronunciation. Like someone said example, it's example, and like observe, it is not observe, it is observe. And someone said leverage, it's leverage. And I would like to ask one word from you. What is it called? Like anyone can answer. ALCOHOL. The right pronunciation for this word.
Alcohol.
Can anyone tell?
An
Yes.
alcoholic would know.
I think everyone should know. So how do we pronounce it?
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yes, yes, right. So I think we should remember this. And the second not so good use of English is wrong use of, incorrect use of verb. Like someone said, I says, or he, someone said, he come from. So when there is performing action, S and ES added to the end of the verb, like he thinks or she wishes. So I think this is the second most common mistake we do, and we know it, still we do it. So we should be careful about this. And the third common mistake was article, use of article in a wrong way. Someone said the Rupinder. So as we know that we don't use article before the names of people, countries, and so on. So we need to improve this because we keep forgetting this while we speak. And the third point of concern is wrong formation of sentences. So like someone said what it means, and there was some it was a long sentence, so it was evident that it should have been in question form. So what does it mean would have been better. And someone said 1 minute, so it should be in singular, 1 minute. And someone said if you want to deliver TMOD speaker at corporate, so either it should have been if you want to deliver TMOD speech at corporate, or if you want to be TMOD at corporate. So I think these are some points which I have noted down. And it's just a matter of practice, and if we pay attention, I hope that we all would be able to correct these mistakes. Over to you, Shivpriya.
Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian. Now I would request the next role player, the Accounter of the Day, Toastmaster Anu Seth, to kindly present her Accounter's report.
Thank you, Madam Journal Evaluator, and a very good evening to every one of us present in the virtual room. Starting with the meeting, Rupinder, as a presiding officer, has taken 1 hour. Sandeep, during his entire Toastmaster of the as a team on, has used 2 times repetition. And Mukesh, as a professional speaker, has 3 arms and 2 repetition with 1 wrong pause. Devina is a flawless. Coming to Rupinder, he has in his prepared speeches has 2 arms, 1 repetition. Now there were many flawless, like all the table topic speakers were flawless. Mukta DTM has taken 2 repetitions during his Power Talk speaker. Madam Journal Evaluator Shivpriya Kauri as of now is flawless. Anshupriya, while delivering her report as a grammarian, has 1 hour, 1 like, and multiple times she used the word and with 2 wrong pauses. That's it from my side. Over to Madam Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anyusit. Now we proceed to the final tag team role player. I would request the timer for the day, Toastmaster Roli Sinha, to kindly present the timer's report.
May I share my screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. That would be great.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. I need to fix one figure. So I hope that everyone can view my Excel sheet and it's visible. Okay, so we have a number of people who have taken the pains to be in the green light of the day. And those people are our president, who, while acknowledging the guests, might have exceeded the time a little bit. But in the business segment, he wrapped up everything, even though the slides went off screen for a bit. We must also congratulate the G, because each time when she was calling on the next role player or speaker to take feedback or to deliver the report, she was extremely concise, and so was Toastmaster Anu while delivering her R-Counters report. Certain people who should be a little more cognizant of time are our professional speaker of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, our Toastmaster of the meeting, because all of the introductions and the invitation to the stage for the role players and the speakers exceeded the time just by a very, very huge margin, which is why you will find us instead of being here at 5 minutes and 55, we are 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Our table topics master was very kind to us. He stopped just in time. I'd also like to point out the fact that these are the kind of timings that we are taking for transitioning to the next role. And while all of that was good, taking 2 minutes and 40 seconds to invite 5 table topic speakers might be just on the verge of being a little excess and can be handled better. Our Power Talk had some technical glitches about for 2 minutes and 49 seconds and also exceeded time by 7 minutes. So overall, there was just a lag of 7 minutes over there. All of our table topic speakers were flawless and within time, except for Toastmaster Kaushal, who exceeded the time by 4 seconds. And that is the end of my report, which has taken 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Now, I, as the general evaluator of the day, would be presenting my report. Before I do that, thank you, Madam Timer. I will quickly share my screen. All right. Today is a good day, but not a very good day. Reason being, none of the role players have actually got a perfect score of 3. And all of us are somewhere ranging between 2 to 2.5, and a couple of role players were below 2. And let's quickly see that what are some of the improvement areas we could look at so that we could make the next meeting almost perfect or even perfect. So coming to the presiding officer, I like the way that he started the meeting on time, the room was set properly, and I just felt that the TMOD and the TTM should be a co-host so that it's easy for them to invite people, unmute them, and help the tech master in managing the show. The club mission was shared with a lot of conviction. I really liked that the guests were warmly greeted. I felt that there were a lot of issues while we were doing the BizSeg today. Number 1, of course, there were issues in slide sharing. Number 2, it did not come across as smooth. We have had better business segments before, where each and everyone were just going on with their demonstration or with their updates. I would request the presiding officer to delete the slides or hide the slides of those people who are not in the meeting, so that we could just, as soon as my face comes, then I can start delivering my goal or the update on the goal. And I do not want the presiding officers to invite them. It should be an automated task. I would also have one request with the presiding officer, that please keep your mic, your camera on while you're inviting guests, because you're the face of the club and it's very important for us to see who you are, even though you're not a forgettable one. I really like the way that Toastmaster the day was properly introduced, and there was a personalized introduction. Great. Coming to the TMOD, team of the day was very well done. The insights were there, but the focus was more on why it is important rather than how. So maybe a summary in terms of this is how you could do it at the end would have been better. The structure was very well explained. The speakers were properly introduced. My only request to the TMOD is that since in the business segment, we are already covering the short-term goal, let's not repeat in the introductions. The audience were asked to write feedback, that was there. The role players were properly introduced and the timings were properly followed. In terms of, actually, I would rather give you 2 because somewhere I felt that my apologies, but somewhere I felt that the introductions went too long and we did not follow the time. Coming to the table topic section, this is somewhere which was not the highlight of the day. The table topic section was properly explained. The objectives were also shared. What is my point of concern for today is the choice of topics. Some of them, which I personally felt had put the speaker in a very uncomfortable position. And let's not try to take a topic which includes or which talks about demise of someone closer, because that is not a very positive environment, or that doesn't give a positive mindset to any speaker. So the guests were invited to participate, but firstly, 2 of the speakers were given. I would request the TTM to ask for nominations. And also the timings were not followed because we increased the section by 2.5 minutes. But most importantly, please ensure the topics of TT is actually friendly and something the audience can speak on and doesn't, put them into an emotional turmoil. So coming to the table topic speakers, I like the way that everybody were able to talk about, they had a beginning, open, and conclusion. Try challenging yourself with a much more effective hook and conclusion so that you're able to be a contest. Think about it that each and every table topic which you're giving is a district level final table topic. How would you approach it? Think about that, and then you start giving it. Automatically, you'll start using some effective hooks as well as effective conclusion, which leaves the person with goosebumps. Body language was somewhere which I felt is an area of improvement, because when some people were speaking, the face was cut, and you do have a stage which is there, and you can always, while you're speaking, you can always adjust your chair or so that your half of your body is visible, so that you can also show your body language. A language usage was somewhat I did not find it great in terms of grammar, but that is something which we can improve over a period of time. The time was, so coming to evaluations, the time was managed properly, commendations, everything was given. The only thing which I saw was that people were repeating, saying that I agree with that Toastmaster, I agree with. If you do agree with, then perhaps you can give a different point of view altogether rather than stretching the same commendation or recommendation. Coming to the timer, the only one place where Toastmaster really could not do the best was where while Grammarian was sharing the report, the video was closed till the red card. And I would request her to keep her video on because that's the only way we could see the time. Otherwise, she delivered with detailed analysis. There was an encouraging tone. Our counter requests you to kindly please show your face. If not, at least show the Excel sheet which we have created for us, because a number which is shown in the screen is much more effective than voice when it comes to speaking the numbers. Grammarian, my only request to you is that while you're sharing a report, let's not just talk about speakers, because they were the speakers who took maximum number of time. So naturally, these 5 people had the most good usages. But I would really love if you had put the words which was used well, because that is the key takeaway, not who spoke the best. We all have great speakers, so focus on the words that has been used. But I really like the second slide where we talked about that pronunciations was basically topping the list in terms of not so great usages. That was greatly done. And also please present the word of the day in a form of a screen so that everybody can understand, or put it in the chat window so that people can look at it and try to use it in their speeches. Coming to the last section, the meeting, the chat room was quiet during the speech. No one unmuted unnecessarily. I gave a 1 because of the general evaluator, because I laughed when Rupendra got a written recommendation and I had to mute myself. And speakers were given timer, visibility, and video check. Not really. The TMOD did not mention that the timer has to be put on a spotlight or the timer has to be pinned. So I think most of the people missed out because of that. Applause was kind of high. The props, it doesn't matter over here, and there were no backouts. The meeting recording started on time, and we also conducted it in the professional manner. So it was a good meeting, definitely. There's a lot of improvement area, and let's pursue so that we can have an excellent meeting next time. It's been an honor to be your general evaluator for the day. Back to the presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Rupendra Singh.
Thank you, Shivpriya. I think you enjoyed the fact that I was at the receiving end of some jokes more than the general evaluating. But thank you for giving such an honest and a candid report. And I, for my part, have duly taken note of your feedback, and you will definitely see an improvement next time when I come as a presiding officer. Now, it is the time where I ask the club members first, is there any help that you think you need, or is there any help that you think you would be willing to give out to your fellow club members to realize their short-term goals? Guests, please do not leave. I need your feedback before you go. So very quickly.
Hi, Distinguished Toastmaster Rupendra Singh. I would need your help, as well as Distinguished Toastmaster Roli Sinha and Distinguished Toastmaster Devina Chaturvedi's help in terms of improving my writing skills. And I hope that Devina being my mentor and you both being very nice people would really help me out in this.
Well, you called Roli a Distinguished Toastmaster. I'm pretty sure she's delighted. Anyone else who would like to help out or who would like to seek help?
I want to ask, as I have shared a link for creating a short-term goals, does anyone have any question around the sheet as we are targeting it to complete it by Wednesday?
Does anyone have any questions? Has anyone seen the sheet? Yes, Devina, you have questions?
I don't have questions per se with the speech, but I think we'll need to discuss a little bit more on the timeline that we want to set and whether or not we even want the timeline to be same for every person, because people might plan their life differently.
Yeah, that short term and medium term.
Suppose you can enter that in the comments.
And there is no strict timing of 3 months only or 3 years only.
Thank you. Anyone else? And Mukesh, thank you for sharing that form. I will complete it. That's my promise. Anyone else who would
I would like to say that since some of us are working on vocal variety and pronunciation of words. So I think we should collaborate. Maybe Mukesh, me, and Anshupriya, and maybe some more.
We should
collaborate.
Oh, you should collaborate. Yeah, pretty sure you can do that. Mukesh and Anshupriya, he's asked for your help.
Yes,
Do- Yeah, do reach out to him and please collaborate.
Definitely.
Racha, should you need anybody else's help, please do not hesitate to ask. We are here to help.
Yeah.
Like I said in my speech, somebody helped me out and I am helping people out.
I also want Sandeep to be added
Yeah,
in the
Sandeep also in the same group. Yeah.
Sure.
Excellent. Great job. And perhaps one of you could take it up as a high performance leadership project.
Maybe Sandeep. Because we have already done.
Maybe you could, but then you'll have to define the scope and everything, what you intend to do. Because HPL in Pathways is much more elaborate than it was in the traditional one. Okay. So, Rolly, how are we with time? Are we in the red? Because I saw
Yes,
you.
we are in the red.
Okay, I'll move on to the guests very quickly, and in no particular order, I will ask Kaushal, how did you feel about the meeting?
I just loved the meeting entirely, especially the overarching session of general evaluation first year. And then I would love to be a part of this club if you permit this. And I mean formal membership of the club. And I really want to be a part of meeting on every Sunday because I really get bored on Sunday after seeing all the numbers all the weeks. So yeah, so that's what my wish is. If you grant the permission, for sure.
Well, Kaushal, the only challenge is that right now we are yet to formulate a policy around the online membership.
Okay.
But Mukesh is the point person on this. He is working on a policy. He will come out with it. I don't see why we cannot, but it's just that we don't have a policy right now. As soon as we have one, we will, of course, reach out to people who are interested in joining us online.
Sure.
Moving on to the powerful.
Kaushal, can you fill up the guest form so that, or you just join in our WhatsApp group so that we can connect it?
If you could complete the guest form and join our WhatsApp group. Moving on to our powerful Power Talk speaker, who kind of admonished me for having not having a smile. I mean, talk about irony. Mukta. Mukta, are you there? Yes, you are there.
First of all, sincere apologies for being so late. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I've already taken more than 7 minutes additional. I never go over time, but I just did not see the cards and did not realize that I had gone so over. I thoroughly enjoyed this meeting. The general evaluation was phenomenal. I've never seen anything like that before. And to have compiled it and given points, it was a real takeaway, great learning for me. And also the grammarian's report and having the pie charts and all of that. We don't do that in our club, and it's a great learning. I think I will take some of these things with me to all of the clubs that I belong to. Thank you so much, Rupinder, for having me, and I hope everybody will sincerely forgive me for going so over time. I feel very badly about it. Thank you.
No, you don't have to feel bad at all, and neither do you have to feel bad for, being over time. You don't have to feel bad at all. I take it as a learning. What we are going to do is next time we are going to ensure that the Toastmaster of the day will ensure that your video is pinned. The timer's video is actually pinned so that they'll confirm with you if you're clearly able to see the timer, and then you'll be able to, we should not have this problem any longer. Second thing, one question, can we expect to see you back in our club meeting anytime soon?
Oh yes, of course. Of course. I will come because Sunday afternoons is good. I don't have a club that I am committed to on a Sunday afternoon. I will be back in there. Join you for a regular meeting.
Sure. And we are delighted to have people from 92 and 98 come over. We had Deepak Justin come over from 92, and last week Avantika was here. We're going to have, okay, now I'm again forgetting the name. Who are we going to have at some point?
Me,
The international director, I'm forgetting his name.
Gauri Sheshadri. I'm
No,
Gauri.
no, no, the international director. Nagaraj Rao.
Nagaraj Rao.
Oh,
He'll be
Nagaraj
coming here on the 19th. And okay, let's move on. Yeah, I know, I am growing old. Saurabh, how did you feel about the meeting?
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me here.
Yeah.
And I really like the meeting. Especially, I have heard my 5 all-time favorite speakers, my 5 people: Devina, Priya, you, sir, Mukesh, sir, Raj, sir, to be here. And it was overwhelming. And I am considering to starting my second innings in Toastmasters very soon. I'm not practicing for that. And yes, very soon I'll meet you in the WC.
Yep. And Saurabh, that was a wonderful speech. I would love to have that speech over here at some point. Parul, or should I say Mrs. Sandeep?
Whatever. Both. Okay, so this is the first time I'm attending the professional speakers meeting, and every time I attend the meeting, I just it's very positive environment, and attending toast in the last meeting I said attending Toastmasters meeting is always a great learning. So yes, I learn a lot, and overall it's a great meeting. And
And
Rupinder
Parul,
sir,
yes.
Rupinder sir, I mean, you were every time I heard you, you were very well prepared and flawless, and I really liked your speech. In SMTC also, I heard your power talk. That was also a wonderful speech, and today as well. I mean, very good.
Wow, thank you so much, Parul. I'm overwhelmed today. I'm seriously overwhelmed. Okay, but on a very serious note, Parul, Saurabh, and all the guests, Kaushal, Mukta, you are most welcome to attend our meetings. And should you want to give a power talk also, you're more than welcome to do that. Unfortunately, the kind of format that our meeting affords, we can only have a power talk speaker from outside and the table topic speakers. Otherwise, everyone is from inside the club. But we would love to have you here. We would love to hear your thoughts. And please make sure that you are available. We'll look forward to seeing you. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone, for joining us. I know that we've gone slightly over time. But trust me, if this was a physical meeting, we would be heading out to have samosas right now. And we would have taken Devina kicking and screaming along with us, because she would say, I'm a Greater Noida, kind of a thing. But we would have taken her kicking and screaming with us. So please go back, have whatever beverage or whatever snack you want to have. Thank you so very much. And just on a closing note, our next Power Talk speaker is from District 84. I will give you only that much hint. Our next Power Talk speaker is from District 84, and very soon you're going to hear Shipriya scream in delight.
84.
Okay. So,
Okay, got it. Yeah, gotcha.
oh, why don't you tell us? Since you're
That's
so...
fun. I'm guessing it's Rupender's mentor, official mentor, I guess, and my arch nemesis in my universe, which is Distinguished Toastmaster Shaktipriya Gauri, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she is our next Power Talk speaker. And until next week, I ask you to prepare well, get ready with your roles. And by the way, I'm playing the Toastmaster of the day, so you're most welcome with a smile. And our next meeting starts
now.
I would say yesterday, but let's go with now.
Now.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.